Hey guys, so I've decided that before the episodes air, I'm just going to do a little bit of an introduction before the episode begins. This is episode 2 of the Hightide. Early on, you'll hear me refer to myself as Ed Games. That's just because I used to run a YouTube channel called Ed Games, and I still upload on that from time to time. Hopefully some people that watch me play video games and do tutorials and that are also, hopping on the podcast and enjoying that. One side note is that in the beginning we talk about the setup and whatnot. I'm treating it as if we have video, and we tried that. I mentioned this in the first episode of the podcast as well. There is no video until we get a studio set up, and for now it's just audio. You can see a picture of Chase and I on the cover, and I will give a bit of a disclaimer as well. I kind of, in a way, forgot I was doing a podcast a little bit, and was treating it like I was just talking to a friend. And we did have a great conversation, but that being said, I did swear a lot in this podcast. So if you're not a fan of that, then this may not be the podcast for you. That said, it was a great conversation, and I've also decided that these intros, I'm going to talk a little bit about what we talked about in the podcast, so you know what you're getting into, especially being that it's a 2-hour ordeal. We started by talking about a little bit of Overwatch, and then we talked about some politics, we talked about Black Lives Matter, about protesting, we talked about music, some upcoming artists that we're into, we talked a little bit about Lil Peep, and we talked a lot about music and just what it means to be creative. We talked a little bit about writing, and we even made a song right before recording this podcast, and you guys will get to hear that in the podcast. Hope you guys enjoy, and hope to see you guys in episode 3. What's going on, my guys? It's your boy Ed Games here today, doing another podcast. This is episode 2 of the Hightide. With me here today, I got my boy Chase.
How's it going, guys?
And this is his dog, Sadie. And the setup might not look familiar. Right now, we don't have a studio yet. This man is my future roommate, and we're going to be getting a studio. But for now, we're just kind of bouncing around, doing it at different places and shit. Last time was at my place with Bryce. And tonight, we're vibing out at my buddy Chase's house. It's not a bad setup. So, what do you want to talk about today, my guy?
I think we should talk about Overwatch, honestly.
Yeah, we're gonna nerd the fuck out, dude.
Yeah, for real quick.
Yeah. Honestly, Overwatch has been one of my favorite games, dude. Honestly, that's like all I played for like a year and a half.
Same. I still play it every day. I think it is my favorite game of all time, honestly.
It's definitely like my most played game for sure.
Yeah, same. I mean, like before Overwatch, don't get me wrong, I gamed, but like I didn't game like I
for
did
sure
for Overwatch. Like, what do you think about the meta nowadays? Zarya Roadhog?
It's different, man. Like,
No
I play
shields.
a lot of McCree, so like it's good for me because like
Yeah, you don't have to bust shields
Sigma be shitting on McCree's all, dude. He can go with his hand and just fucking eat it all, or he can throw up a shield, or he can fucking hit you with the rock from across the map. And then not only that, you got to worry about other shields and shit too.
Still, like you move, you glow,
dude.
Like it's the worst ult in the game.
Is it just me, or does he yell at the loudest? Like I'll hear other people yell their ults, sure, but McCree, he fucking pulls out a fucking microphone and just he yells that shit, dude. Gets me killed every time.
Yeah, no, I can't play McCree for that reason. I'm really bad with his ult. I think my best DPS ult is probably, like, I'm good with Ash's ult, like, bot placement.
When he actually does something.
Yeah, when he does something. Well, you're amazing with Ash, though. This kid is insane.
I think McCree is my best hero, but we were talking about it the other day. McCree kind of gets boring. I just feel like every game gets approached the fucking
kind of
same.
Has the same play style. Like, you have to kind of play mid-range, play up front, like, stun, you know what I mean? Like, retreat.
How do you feel about Widow's fucking nerf?
I don't like that, man. Like, Widow took enough skill as it is. And
yeah.
I feel like she should be able to one-shot somebody. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And, like, I don't know, like, usually, like, her snipes, too, like, aren't, like, anything crazy. It's not like Call of Duty where you, Warzone and shit, where you got, like, 2,000 meter snipes and shit. Like, I don't know. It's just not necessary to nerf her like that. I feel like.
like that's her only utility in the game. I feel is just being able to one shot people.
Yeah, she's
And,
really
like, you take that
underpowered
away,
as is. Now you nerf that. It's kind of like
she's trash at close range. She can't fight close range, and then like she can't one shot people now. So like, what's she supposed to do? Like,
yeah, it's a fact. It's weird how like some heroes just get nerfed to fucking shit. One thing I think that needs to be nerfed, and I've been saying it since I started playing Overwatch, and I started playing around the time they added Ashe. I think I started playing a little bit before that.
I think it was Wrecking Ball.
Fucking, was I?
Yeah, it was about Wrecking Ball.
No shit. But yeah, the nerf that I've been looking for is Roadhog's hook, my guy.
I mean, I kind of agree, but I don't at the same time. I'll tell you why, because Roadhog is only good up close, right?
Yeah.
So, like, he only has 2 abilities, right? And one's heal. Like, you have to land those hooks. Like, they're not
They
easy.
are pretty skill-based.
They're not
that's
easy.
a fact.
And also, like, that's his main thing to get the first pick in the fight, I feel like. That's Roadhog's job.
Yeah, that and just, like, soak up all the fucking damage.
Yeah, you attack.
He's definitely
retreat,
a fucking meat barrier, for sure.
Same with, like, Zarya, like, you kind of push forward, get charged, retreat, repeat.
See, I like that you like flexed a lot too. So you're good at like Mr. Heroes and shit because you play like a wide variety of heroes.
Dude, I'm actually not that good at. I don't know why I'm not that good at Mr. Heroes, but I'd say I have like 3 or 4 from each category that I'm comfortable playing.
See, I'm mostly DPS, but like these wait times have been killing me. Dude.
Yeah, no. When I want to play DPS, I go open queue. That's the only way to do it, I feel.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't really like open queue.
Honestly, like nowadays though, like I've noticed there's been a lot more 2-2-2. So like the games aren't as bad as they used to be.
Dude, I hated before they added roll
Yeah.
queue. That shit was so bad.
No, dude, like trust me, like I'm in an Overwatch Facebook group, and dude, people complained to no end about this roll queue, right?
Yeah.
A year down the road, bro, that saved the game pretty much. Like,
that's what's good about games that like listen to their fans. Blizzard does, but they're pretty slow to act on shit.
yeah,
Like Fortnite was very quick to act on it, and that's part of the reason I don't play it anymore. But that's part of the reason I think it's
like
remained
Fortnite
super
still.
successful.
Fortnite,
It's just they listen to their fans.
yeah,
you know?
man. Like,
That's
granted, it took them a while to listen to their fans, but like once they started listening, they really listened. Like, when's the last time you played
Fortnite?
Yeah.
Oh fuck, man! It's been, I want to say probably a year, to be honest.
So basically, the new chapter, season 2, I think it's chapter 4. Like, it's like superhero shit. Like Marvel
yeah, I saw
shit.
they added like some Marvel
and, like,
shit.
The battle pass, you get like Thor. You get fucking Groot. Groot is sick as fuck. But like yeah, so like, there's like Stark Industries, and they added, I guess like NPCs.
No shit.
You fight them, dude. You get good guns. It's honestly a lot of fun, and like they have it skill based now, so like you don't play against like the sweaty tryhards until you actually.
Yeah, I
start
hated getting into these sweaty ass build ups. That's
Yeah.
kind of why I stopped playing Fortnite. There was just too much fucking building
Yeah,
for
dude,
me, man.
everybody just got really good really quick with Fortnite, and that's the thing. Like it blew up.
Yeah, I feel like there's not like a skill cap when it comes to like building.
Yeah, no, like you can literally always get better. And
Yeah.
always get quicker. Like
So like, that's one of those things. Like if you don't play like
Cause
all day
literally-
every day, like you're just gonna get shit on by some fucking kid
Yeah.
that just sits there and plays all
because
the
literally
time.
every build fight is different. Like there's no way for like I mean there is for a build fight to repeat itself, but like there really isn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like every player plays differently.
Skip this ad.
Yeah, true.
Fucking YouTube with the ads, man. Oh
Need a
my
YouTube
god.
I'm honestly considering it. Like
I just, dude, it's so
compared to Spotify.
shitty, man. You gotta buy subscriptions for everything nowadays. And then there's all these shows, like, I watch, I'm a big fan of Hawaii Five-0. And, dude, I remember, like, that show, they, like, took it off Netflix, and then you gotta buy the CBS app. It's like, dude, I buy Hulu, I buy Netflix. Like, people were bitching about cable being expensive. Fuck, man. It's just as expensive paying for all these fucking sites
Yeah,
and
for
apps.
real, man. And like sometimes like I mean, like Hulu, dude, they don't update their shit. You know what I mean? Like you pay $10 a month for the no ads. Like okay, I'm fine with that. At least add new good shit. I haven't seen anything good on Hulu or Netflix recently that I can recall. Like new. I'm talking about.
I don't know. I'm kind of like, I used to watch like a lot of shows all the time, but now like it's just like I'll pick a show, and like when I want to watch TV, like I'll just watch that one show. Once that show's done, and I'll even watch a show that's a little bit older because I like being able to just watch all the seasons at my own convenience and shit.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, I remember like I used to watch The Walking Dead like weekly back in the
same.
day. And, like, I don't know, if it left off on a cliffhanger, it's kind of just like, fuck, you gotta wait a week, and then, like, the next week, it's like, you don't necessarily remember everything that happened, it's not fresh in your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely prefer to just binge shit, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's convenient. I mean, like you said, it refreshes your memory, like, at the end of every episode. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, the memory transfers over to the next episode, and, like, it's just a good experience just to binge watch. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like everybody does it.
What shows are you watching nowadays?
Honestly, I haven't watched many new shows. I watched a lot of It's Always Sunny.
No shit.
And
The show's pretty funny.
Workaholics is my shit. That's probably my favorite show.
Yeah, I liked Workaholics for sure. Lately, I've been watching Narcos Mexico. I like that show quite a bit, and I've still weekly watched the 100. I have been watching that.
I have to watch
the
that.
season, or not the it's the season finale, but it's also the fucking series finale. Aired yesterday. I have to watch that. It's the last episode ever. It's I don't want to spoil it because you're a season behind still, but it's gotten fucking weird, man. And I don't know if I like it or not.
Weird in a good way, or weird in a
Uh,
bad way.
I don't know. There's some like aspects that are good, but some that are kind of bad. I don't know. It's hard with sci-fi shows because like sometimes they just get so far out there. It's just like it kind of ruins it.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to like come back from a plotline they made. I feel.
Yeah, and that's another thing too with shows and certain things. Like people just don't know when to end it, man. They just want to make that fucking money. They're like, oh, we could drag this. You know, we should end it here. Like it's a complete story, but we're gonna drag it out another 7 fucking seasons so we can make some money. Yeah, like I don't know. I don't really like the new Star Wars movies.
Star
man.
Wars was good after 3. I mean, like they were set after 3 movies. That's all they needed.
I mean, I think like the original 3 were probably good enough, but the ones in the 90s, like the next 3, the 3 prequels or whatever, thought those were all right. But the ones nowadays are just fucking kind of over the top.
Yeah, we went and saw, which one was it? The Last Jedi, right?
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that was not good. I did not like that movie. Like we went high as shit because we're like, oh, this is gonna be a good movie. Like,
Yeah.
Let's fucking experience it. We didn't experience shit. It was anticlimactic and very poorly produced.
Another thing that's hard too is like when they make there's like a video game or something, and then they make like a movie based off a video game. Those tend to fucking suck. Like I don't know if you've played the newer iterations of the Tomb Raider games, but they made a movie off. It's supposed to be the same as like the fucking video game. I don't know. It wasn't that good.
You know, I played Tomb Raider on like the PS2 like.
Oh yeah, I
long
played
time
those
ago.
back in the day.
Long time ago, like back when do you remember what was it called, a Gek or some shit? Like yeah, it was a gecko, and like it was like
the car insurance
Asian...
guy.
No, no. It was like Gek 100 or some shit. Like he was like a secret agent, but he was a gecko, and yeah,
Sounds like Perry the Platypus.
It was a good game, dude. That was my favorite game growing up on the PS2. That and Duke Nukem.
I played a lot of Tony Hawk on the PS2.
Yeah, Tony Hawk.
Spider-Man, that was pretty good too.
Yeah, I played that.
Another one I liked was
Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
That was good. Yeah, fuck yeah. I played the SpongeBob movie. They had a game. about the SpongeBob movie, and it was pretty dope.
I think I played that once. I'm pretty sure I played on the Wii or some shit though.
Dude, the Wii was so underrated.
Dude, that was before its time. Let's be honest.
Yeah, dude, that's a fact.
Like motion control, like that early on, and like they were.
If
spot
only
on with the
like
motion
they
control.
had VR and shit when they had the
And good
Wii,
games.
that would have been the
If they
most
had-
immersive
They
thing
would have
ever.
had better games, dude. Like Nintendo has good games. Don't get me wrong. But I'm talking like what are they? AAA titles, right? So like if they would have had like some kind of like Red Dead 1 even, like you actually get to shoot, that would be fucking
Yeah,
sick,
dude, I loved Red Dead.
Like,
Red Dead was a good ass game.
We have the technology. We should make some kind of gaming system like that. Like,
Did you ever go back and play like an old game and just think, how the fuck did I enjoy this?
yes, I don't know.
That's
if you
happened to
ever-
me with a few games.
I don't know if you ever played Hightide.
I did not.
Wow. Okay, so it used to be a whole thing on Isaiah's. Our friend Isaiah, we used to go over to his place and play iDive for hours because it was the only game we had.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, I swear to God, like after like the 5th night of playing, we were just like, okay, fuck this game. Like it pisses us both off because like it's kind of like remember that like 90s game like the Ping?
Oh yeah,
It's kind of
yeah.
like that, but like it's interdimensional. So like you hop through portals and shit, and like
That's pretty
you
cool.
travel from platform to platform. It's kind of like a platform game at the same time, but like it pisses you off, dude. Like I swear to God, oh
Yeah, I recently stopped smoking. I'm going sober for Sober October. And fucking, dude, I forgot how mad video games make me sometimes when I'm not, like, smoking.
that's why.
Holy
I
shit.
don't know if I can go sober. Like
Yeah, dude, like, I was
game
playing
every night,
Overwatch
and
yesterday.
it
I was
does
blowing
piss
up
me
your
off.
phone, dude. Fucking, I was getting heated. Like, I was getting real pissed. Fucking people leaving, man. Even though they increased the penalty for that shit,
That
people
is a big
still be
problem.
leaving.
that is a big problem in Overwatch. I feel.
Yeah, they need to have, like, backfill in competitive.
Yeah, and like
And your SR should reflect whether or not you...
If
Like,
you-
you should be able to click whether or not you want to be able to be put into a backfill game. Like, if you don't want to deal with that, like, you should be able to click, like, a thing. Like, a check mark, be like, I don't want to be dealing with backfill.
yeah.
So then, like, you're just not going to get put into a game already in progress. But if you select that, like, you should... You know, your SR should reflect that, you know?
I feel like if you go into a backfill game, you shouldn't lose SR if you lose, depending on how late it is in the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if somebody leaves it within the first 10 seconds, then I feel like the match should be canceled.
Yeah.
Well, now that priority is a thing.
Yeah, priority requeue is clutch as
Yeah,
fuck.
I actually wrote that was a nice feature. That
Yeah, that was very much needed
Yeah.
because there was some games. Fuck, man, I'd be
Like 15
DPS, dude.
minutes
Yeah, we'd wait
sometimes.
15 minutes, join a game, and then our healer would fucking leave, and then it's like, oh, match canceled. And then it's like, wow, I gotta play free for all for another 15 minutes until I
Yeah.
find another game. That was also another good addition. That was being able to like play
Yeah,
like
dude.
custom games or
that's
free
what I'm
for
saying.
all or whatever.
Overwatch is really fixing their shit. I feel
Yeah,
they're trying to make it a better experience.
that's a fact.
And like
for
they,
sure.
they added the workshop, and like their Overwatch 2 is gonna be a great game. I feel.
Yeah, I'm excited for the campaign as well.
Yeah, dude.
I feel like because there is quite a bit of lore to Overwatch. Like some
yeah.
multiplayer games,
The lore
like
is better than the game itself. if
yeah,
I'm being
dude. Even
honest.
like Call of Duty Zombies, like wasn't really campaign or story oriented or anything. There was Easter eggs and shit, but like the lore and like just the story behind that was so fucking awesome.
She just farted, dude.
Sadie,
Sadie, come on.
what are you doing?
You're right by me.
Oh, I want to show everybody on the podcast this. I call this a mask hat. So this hat and mask, they match.
They clip, right?
Yeah, and the dope thing about this is like one of the most inconvenient things about wearing a mask, in my opinion, is it hurts my ears. Having it around my ears, this hat has these little fucking clips, or I don't know, these aren't clips, but they're like buttons, I guess, on the side of it, and the mask loops right around that. It's amazing.
It is very convenient.
What are you trying to do here, Doc? But yeah,
Speaking of COVID,
let's talk a little bit about COVID, man.
what the fuck?
Yeah, that's a fact, dude.
Like, I feel like it could have been handled very, very much better.
Yeah.
That was not good English.
Very much.
But very. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Speak more towards the mic too.
Yeah. Okay. So like, what are we at? Like 300,000 deaths now.
Something like that, man. It's up there. The fucking president has COVID too.
I like that actually.
I mean, whether you like Trump or not, I think it's bad for America if the president dies of COVID. And like, I don't know, he's getting the best care in the world, but at the same point in time, he's what, 74?
74, yeah, I think.
And he is considered obese, so he's at double high risk. Like, I don't know, that's no bueno.
Yeah, I mean, I don't wish death on anyone, right? But at the same time, Trump is a very fucking disgusting man, dude. Like, I can't support him.
I mean, I don't know. In a way, it's kind of fucking karma, man. Like,
it is karma, dude. He called it a fake disease, and like,
yeah, dude.
Okay, so now you have it.
Dude, anything this guy doesn't like, dude, he's just like, it's fake.
Fake news.
Like it's not really fake. It just doesn't go along with what you believe in. Just because like something doesn't go along with what you believe in doesn't mean it's fake. It just means it doesn't correlate with your fucking views. So it's like, I don't know. The fake news shit is crazy too.
Yeah, okay. So I actually have a theory about this. I don't want to sound like I'm wearing an aluminum hat, but I think Trump is brainwashing people. And here's why. Okay. So basically, he declared Antifa like a terrorist organization, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Antifa, at its core, is anti-fascism.
That's a fact. That's literally what it stands for.
Yeah, that is what it stands for in its definition, Antifa, anti-fascism. How is that bad? How can nobody...
Well, Trump doesn't like it because their agenda is more or less like left-winged.
But like still though, anti-fascism, right? Like at its core, like it's anti-fascism.
Yeah.
How can you denounce that and then call out the Proud Boys?
Yeah, what did he say? Stand back and stand by?
Yeah, stand back and stand by, my Proud Boys. Right?
Yeah.
Like, come on, like...
Yeah, I was reading some shit about the Proud Boys the other day, dude. They go around, they literally incite, like, violence in the streets with, like, paintball guns, actual guns, fucking bear spray.
They incite a lot of violence, but, like, okay, so, like, dude, back, like, brainwashing, okay?
Yeah.
Like you brought up with fake news, okay? So, like, he's basically made it so his supporters... who are the people being brainwashed.
Mm-hmm.
Any news they don't like, they can just call fake news. You know what I mean? They can be totally.
Yeah, dude.
They can be totally
That's
oblivious.
Really polarized the fuck out of the whole nation.
Yeah,
dude. It's pretty bad.
The most divided I've ever seen us.
Yeah, like we're probably close to a level of division that people saw back in the day, like during the Civil War, and like prior to it.
I imagine there will be another Civil War if Trump gets reelected.
I hope not, dude. I hope there's not another Civil War.
I hope not, but like what I'm saying, I think there will be. Trump stands for everything that what America doesn't want, I feel. I mean, well, that's the thing. That it's 50-50 from what I've seen. There's a lot of Trump supporters and like everybody else who just hates Trump.
Yeah, dude, there's nobody like in the middle that's like trying to be reasonable anymore either. Yeah,
there's no middle to it anymore, I feel
like everybody's just extreme right or like extreme left. Yeah. And, like, personally, I agree with shit on both sides, you know?
Well, I'm primarily left. I do have some right-leaning views, though.
Yeah, I'm like centered leaning left probably. Myself, I would say, but I'm more or less centered. Like I kind of pick out things that I like from both sides.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like people have to form their own opinion. That's why I feel like the two-party system should be done away with. There's no need for it anymore.
Dude, George Washington, the first fucking president that everybody so reveres, literally said like I don't know exactly what he said, but he essentially said like political parties were like the worst fucking idea possible.
They're useless, man. Nowadays, especially.
Yeah.
Like, that's how we get stuck with Biden and Trump every year. Well, not every year, but
Dude,
know what I mean?
I thought the
a version of
options
them.
were bad in 2016 with Hillary Clinton and Trump.
Yeah. Now what?
Biden and Trump?
Biden and Trump?
Like, what did I say earlier? I was like, the Democrats
I'd
claim
rather
to
have
want...
Hillary than I would Biden, dude.
Yeah, the Democrats claim to want Trump out of office. But then they offer up Joe Biden. So, like, my question is to the left, like, do you really want Trump out of office?
Or are you just saying that?
Yeah, or are you just saying that? Because, like, if you really wanted this man out of office, you probably could have found somebody better.
Anybody.
Better
really,
than fucking
really
Joe
anybody.
Biden.
Like,
an old man with dementia. Who was just kind of more of the same bullshit that we're fucking dealing with.
He's very racist. He's open about it. Well, not anymore, obviously, because he's running for president, but he was very open about it.
Dude, yeah, and everybody talks about, like, Trump and Russia. There's a lot of, like, Biden and, like, Russia shit, too, that, like, nobody really talks about.
I want to say this before we even, like, really talk about this. Like, I don't support either candidate. I hate Biden as much as I hate Trump. The thing is, I feel like Trump is a little bit more evil-hearted than Biden.
Yeah, that's a fact. I don't know. I just think, like, we need some sort of merit-based system. Like,
I feel like
these are not the two smartest,
it should just
best
come down
fucking
to popular
people.
vote, I feel.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
Everybody has a smartphone nowadays.
Well, yeah, the thing with, like, popular vote is that, like, the argument is essentially, like, New York City and Los Angeles would just determine who becomes president.
Kind of. But at the same time...
But, like, at the same point in time, if everybody's got an equal vote, everybody's got an equal vote.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, just because... But, like, the thing is, like, particular cities tend to just, like, as a whole, like, this city is mostly left or mostly right. So if you have, a dense population that's mostly left just because that's all they've ever fucking known. You have people that live in LA their whole fucking lives. So, like, I get that to an extent, but, yeah, like, we shouldn't be having, like, times where, like, a president wins a popular vote, or, like, say the president wins a popular vote, but then doesn't get elected. So it's like, at the end of the day, if that's the case, does your actual vote really fucking mean a goddamn thing? I feel like it doesn't, to be honest. That's why I've never voted, and I probably won't.
I do vote, but the thing is, up here, it really doesn't matter. If you live in New York or California, the thing is, LA or New York, they determine your vote. So, like, your vote really doesn't matter. Because if you look at it, when Bernie Sanders in 2016 was running, he won majority of New York. Like, I don't remember the ratio, but he was winning to Hillary. But she won New York City, so she won that's how she won the nomination.
Bernie's gotten fucked over twice now.
I like Bernie, but I agree he's been fucked over, but, like, there's just something about Bernie I don't trust. I don't know. It could be the fact that his wife, like, embezzled a bunch of money from UVM.
No shit.
I don't know if that's true. Don't quote me, but, like, it could just be, like, a Republican lie I've heard, but, like...
Yeah, that's the thing. You don't know nowadays, too. There's so many lies.
There is fake news.
Yeah,
nowadays.
There is fake news, but it's just
news.
Not, like, it's as like, common as Trump makes it fucking
Trump says
out to
everything
be.
that doesn't agree with his agenda is fake news. That's...
Yeah. Yeah, and then, like you were saying with the whole brainwashing thing, like, a lot of his followers are just doing the same thing now.
Following now.
Yeah, and it's just, like, I don't know. And I think social media has kind of done a big part in that as well.
If I'm being honest, I agree. I mean, I love, like, the messaging apps, like Snapchat, like Messenger. But Facebook, Instagram, they consume too much of my time, I feel.
Yeah, I actually, I don't really ever go on Facebook. I've had a Twitter when I was younger, and the only reason I ever had a Twitter is when I was playing Borderlands 2 back in the day. There used to be, like, this loot box, and you had to have, like, they gave you, like, really good shit every time, but you had to have, like, you had to type in a code to get, like, this key to, like, open it, and then, like, it was like an Overwatch loot box type of deal, kind of. And, they released, like, periodically they'd release, like, codes on Twitter. So, like, I'd always just, like, do that. But after I stopped playing Borderlands 2, I never got big into Twitter at all. I've never had a Twitter in years. And I don't go on Facebook. I actually, this morning, I deleted Instagram. I'm kind of over the whole social media. just done arguing with people I don't know over stupid, petty shit that
thing.
doesn't mean anything. Like you said,
Yeah.
it's just a waste of your fucking time, dude.
That's the thing, man. Like
a literal waste.
Nowadays, people don't listen. Don't listen to listen. They listen to respond.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a big problem with today's society. We don't listen to listen. We listen to respond. So like, if somebody like say something, somebody Republican, right, saying something I don't like. Nowadays,
yeah, you're not gonna hear what they say. You're just gonna be like, you're just gonna jump to go cut their throat over some shit, you know?
Yeah, you look for a reason to disagree, and I don't think that's how societies should be. I feel like we should listen to listen. We should be there for each other. I feel like we should be one united. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we are the United States.
United States. We should be united in these times, and I feel like we're divided more now than ever.
Yeah, and it's crazy too because it's like. You think with like a big thing like COVID, it would bring everybody together and unite everybody, and I feel like it's just kind of torn everybody apart and pushed everybody separate ways.
Dude, quarantine's done shit to people. I feel.
Yeah, there's definitely some people going batshit crazy with quarantine.
Speaking of quarantine, like, so things are opening back up. Like, we have to expect like a second huge wave. Like, it's already coming.
Oh yeah, dude.
Technically, like,
dude,
I saw something today that was like 19,000 Amazon employees tested positive for COVID-19.
Dude, did I tell you about the rules my fucking school applied? Like, I think they took effect yesterday, October 1st. It's all the SUNY schools across all of New York State. Dude, it is some straight Nazi ass policies, dude. It's like, cause like every time I log into my school, like so. Every time I log into my school's website, it makes me fill out this questionnaire, right? It's like, do you have COVID symptoms? Yada, yada, yada. Are you COVID positive? Have you hung out with anybody that has COVID? Have you gone to any state that has, like, mad COVID, right? Okay, cool. Like, I get that, sure. And then, you fill that shit out. And then it tells you, yep, you're obviously you say you pretty much don't have COVID. You're good to go to school. Well, dude, there's days, like, I don't have school Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. And if I decide to not do homework any of those days, I have literal no reason to log into the school website whatsoever.
Right.
It's now a thing. If you don't fill that form out for any 3 consecutive days in a row, like if you don't go on the school website, and I have in-person classes too, so like if I don't have shit to do online, like I'm not going to go on that website. If I fail to fill that out 3 days in a row, I get suspended, tuition terminated, like all this shit, dude. If you violate any policies, like if you hang out with like a group of people like outside of school or whatever,
you can just remove it.
Yeah, dude. Then it's not just schools too. Like I don't know if you heard about like people throwing like parties and shit. We're getting their electricity and like all their utilities turned off. Yeah, that's like a thing. Like if you hosted like a party during COVID, like I want to say this is like out in LA. California is pretty fucking bad with the COVID rules. But yeah, you could straight like get your utilities cut off. It's like, I don't know, dude, like, I feel like we're living in, like, straight Nazi type era, dude. Like, the government should not have these type of powers, dude.
They shouldn't. I feel like, have you read 1984 by George Orwell?
No, what is that about?
So basically it's like a dystopian society, like, where the government controls everything. It's called, have you ever heard the term Big Brother?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, that's where it came from. So like
no shit.
Yeah, like it's like they control. It's called think speak. That's their language. Like it's a controlled language. Like they control the dialect. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, these two like lovers they break out of it. But like not about the story. So like we're basically living in that. Like the government can see everything we do. They can market ads directly to whatever we want to buy. Like, they know what we want to buy before we know what we want to buy.
Oh, dude. And then, like, your phone and shit is listening, dude. Same with my Xbox.
All
like,
the time.
Let me tell you this story that happened literally just last night, right? So, Bryce came over and my other buddy Josh came over. And, fucking, dude, Josh walks in and he's, like, talking about this anime that he watches. He's like, have you ever seen One Piece? Like, you gotta watch One Piece, this and that. Good. And yeah, I've heard it's really good too, and I was like, oh, I'm not big into anime, this and that, right? So we're sitting there, and I had, like, Netflix up, and you know how, like, when you're not watching it, just like flashes like different shows and shit.
Yeah.
Never, ever, ever has it flashed One Piece across my fucking screen. Like, I just look over, like, a couple minutes later, and, like, it just has, like, this shit for One Piece, and I'm like, the fuck is this, dude?
Yeah.
Like, your shit's listening to you,
At
man.
least hide it a little bit.
Yeah, dude,
Come
they're
on.
just so, like, blatantly obvious about
Like,
it. And
have you seen that video? It was like a couple. They talked about cat food all day. Sure enough, that night they got ads for cat food.
Yeah,
and
dude,
they
I've
proved
heard
it,
so
like-
many stories about shit like that, dude. It's happened to me, multiple people I know, several times, dude. And it really, I don't know, dude. I feel like it's an infringement on privacy. Like,
That's the thing. I feel like we should be allowed to sell our data, and we should make money for that.
that's the thing, dude. All these companies made money off that, but we, the consumers, didn't know that that was something that was even, like, a thing.
Yeah.
Nor did we know that it was, like, sellable for fucking profit. None of that. Yet all these companies made millions,
And now
if
that
not
we know that,
billions of
we
dollars
should
off
take
it.
the power away from the corporations. I feel they control everything.
Dude, I think when it comes to corporations and everything, like, honestly, I don't really think we're a democracy anymore. I think we're an aristocracy with the corporations running shit.
Yeah, I mean, they pretty much control everything, dude. If you look
Yeah.
off COVID alone, they've profited more than anybody
Yeah,
else.
dude, how can you say Walmart is allowed to be open, but a mom and pop grocery store isn't? Or, like, a mom and pop shop? Like,
What's the difference?
yeah, especially
really
because
look
it's
at
like,
it.
because you could go to Walmart and you could still buy knickknacks and crafts and, like, all this shit. There was some places that, you know, shut down certain sections of their store. But, like, dude, like, you could still go to Walmart and buy a fucking Nintendo Switch if you wanted to. But you're telling me, like, I remember pretty early on in COVID, I was at my buddy's and I did some acid. And, like, I was hanging out at this kid's house for a couple days. And all I wanted to do was, like, come home and, like, play Overwatch. And my Xbox, like, we lost power or some shit. I thought it was hooked to a surge protector. My power cord fried, right? Dude, I spent 3 or 4 hours on the phone with GameStops from all over the country. And, like, or not all over the country, but all over, like, the surrounding area. Like, all of New England, pretty much. And I had to drive over, like, 2 hours away to get a power cord. And it was literally in stock in our local GameStop in town. But GameStop wasn't open because of COVID. And our Walmart and everything didn't have it. So it's just the fact that you can tell, like, certain companies, you're not allowed to open, but all these big fucking corporations are allowed to stay open. And, like, you look at how much money all of, like, Amazon, Walmart, all the big corporations have made since
each
COVID.
made billions.
They've made millions, billions of dollars. It's fucking insane, dude.
Jeff Bezos alone, dude. Like, Amazon is ruling now.
Yeah, dude, and
I
like,
mean, it always has been.
and dude,
but, like,
my
at the same
local
time-
gym, dude, there's only one gym in town I like going to, man. Like, we have a YMCA here, but it's just so expensive. And, like, dude, this one gym that I like going to, you know, because, like, I'm a bigger guy, and, like, I don't want to go to a gym with a bunch of meatheads or a bunch of college assholes and
No,
shit.
I feel you.
Like, I just want to go to a gym where I
Normal
can just, you know, dick around with a kettlebell, play some basketball with some homies. And there was this gym in town, and a day pass is only like a couple bucks, and you could go, you could do kettlebell workouts, you could do basketball all day. Absolutely love going there. And then they shut that down. First of all, it's like, I've gained a lot of weight from just, like, not working and not being able to go to the gym. And then on top of that, I just got a notification the other day, like, gyms just got the go-ahead to open up in New York not that long ago. And fucking, dude, my gym went under. They're like, sorry to inform you, due to COVID, like, we're going under, like, we're never reopening. So, like, that sucks, dude. What did they say? What percentage of
I
businesses
think
that, like...
it's 1 in 5 businesses are never opening again.
Yeah, it's some crazy number, like, all these businesses that went under with COVID.
I mean,
Are just
you
never
look around
reopening, dude.
Plattsburgh, even our local city, like Guma's. I mean, that's not necessarily in Plattsburgh, but what was that? The Chinese restaurant. They went under. Actually, 2 Chinese restaurants went under. Chen's and that one in the mall.
Yeah, I remember reading a big thing about the one in the mall, too.
And then there was one other.
That's another thing,
I
dude.
can't remember.
Restaurants were allowed to be open, but restaurants, like, in malls and shit weren't. That's another thing, too, that's, like, shady as fuck, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, malls in general, like, don't get me wrong, they're definitely a breeding ground for bacteria and shit. But at the same time, that's people's livelihoods. You know what I mean? You gotta open that shit up. Like, But at the same time, you have to restrict it. You have to make sure everybody wears a mask. You have to make sure it's socially distanced. Make sure it's safe for everybody. You know what I mean? But like,
dude, the mask thing is crazy because like all the people like fucking fighting, and sometimes it results in serious shit. Like I've heard stories of people getting shot, you know, because they're just like a grocery store worker trying to enforce mask policies. Like it's fucking crazy, dude. Like I worked at a grocery store for the first few months of COVID, and oh my god, was it fucking hell! I was a manager at a Dollar General.
I imagine
it was rough,
terrible, especially in the beginning. Everybody was an asshole about it.
Yeah. There was like a hot minute where everybody was like, oh, thank you so much for doing your job, this and that. Like, you know, everybody was like treating you with all disrespect and shit for like working during COVID.
The next week it was.
And then the next week it's like, give me fucking toilet paper, I'm gonna shove a gun down your throat type shit. I mean, not anything that crazy, but you know.
You get the gist.
Yeah. It was rough. And the phone was ringing nonstop. Do you have hand sanitizer? Do you have toilet paper?
Did you guys keep like a separate stock? And like you guys were set.
Oh yeah, I mean I can't really straight up say that, but there was I made sure we made sure that we had our shit and our store had our shit, for sure. For sure.
Mean, at the end of the day, you got.
We also set shit aside for first responders too, which I thought was pretty dope.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, because we would have like cops come into the store and just grab like hand sanitizer and stuff that they needed, which is good because like they're out there on the front lines, man. They need that shit.
They are, and I mean, I love cops, but I hate cops.
Right. I feel that.
I mean, you know me, like, I'm very outspoken against cops, but I'm also for cops. Like, my dad's been in law enforcement, and, like, you know the saying, all cops are bastards?
Yeah.
Kind of true. Like, not gonna lie. Like,
I don't know, man. They have a shitty fucking job, dude. That wears and tears at you. It wears and tears at your soul, dude.
But
like,
at the same time, you don't have to abuse that power. You don't.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't agree with defunding all police, right? I think there should just be reform. That's what needs to happen.
Some police departments maybe should be defunded.
I don't think Plattsburgh is racially biased at all, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I, mean, I don't think.
Police. Plattsburgh itself, that's a different story. But I'm talking about Plattsburgh police.
Right.
I don't think they're racially biased at all. Like, there definitely are good cops. Like, obviously, there's good cops. The thing is, though, if you stand by idly and watch these other bad cops be bad cops and not speak out about it, like, use your platform to speak out about it. Like, no, like, that doesn't represent us. I've seen the sheriff of Detroit mention, like, yo, that doesn't represent us, we'll march with you. You see,
right? Yeah. I saw some really powerful.
Yeah,
fucking
like, we'll march with you. Like, we get what you're saying. Like, that's all you have to say.
Yeah,
that's all you have to say. Really, I feel. I mean, I'm not black, so I can't personally speak on it.
Right.
You know, like, I don't know their struggle, but I stand with them. I support them fully.
For sure.
Like, you know, like, it's not my thing to speak on, but I will fully, till my death, defend your right to speak it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude, I believe strongly in the First Amendment too, and like, that's what I find crazy is down in New York City, is that like if you want to ban protests because of COVID, I'm not necessarily for that, but at the same point in time,
ban the other.
But at the same point in time, if you're gonna do it, you gotta ban all the protests. I'm not saying I'm against Black Lives Matter at all. Like you, I stand with it for
I know
sure.
What you're saying,
but you can't just say you can protest Black Lives Matter and that's it. That okay, like that is anti-American as fuck. Dude.
The thing is, though,
it goes against the First Amendment.
It does, but like not just that. If you look at when COVID first started, there was people protesting in D.C. about wearing masks. Right, and they were carrying full-on assault rifles.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
Like, you can't tell me white privilege is not a thing.
Right.
Like, I won't lie. Like, I used to not believe in it. I did some research. I fucking believe in it now, you know? Like,
yeah, white privilege is definitely a thing. But, like, I don't know. You can't also, like...
Like, don't get me wrong. There's definitely, like, some mutual struggles.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I don't have to fear. I don't have to live in fear because of the color of my skin. I don't have to, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's so much extra shit that
Oh yeah,
people of
white
color have
privilege
to work
definitely
about.
exists.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of like the sociological study done on like job applications or not, but there was these people that literally filled out. They went and they filled out like multiple job applications to the same like place, the same company, right? And the resume was the exact same. The everything to a T was the exact same. The only thing different was like the name, and like if it was like they would do like really really white sounding names, like I don't know exactly if it was Carl or not, but say they said like Carl, and then the same exact application would be like a black sounding name, right?
Yeah.
And like overwhelmingly like almost all of the applicants with like white sounding names got hired over the black sounding names. It's like that shit like that exists, man. That's
Yeah,
real,
it proves
it sucks. Like it's
And
shitty.
also, like, speaking on police brutality, like the experiment. What was it? It was not Clemson. It was Cornell. The Cornell experiment. Like, that's not like the technical term for it, but you've definitely seen it in psychology, like where the college students, like, they had the roles of being police officers or corrections officers.
Yeah. That was
or
Zimbardo, I
prisoners.
think. Dr. Zimbardo ran that
Yeah,
study.
yeah.
Yeah, that
100% of the time
crazy.
they abuse their power. That
Yeah.
proves it right there. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that I'm surprised that didn't like bring on more like reform to prisons and shit.
yeah, for real. I mean, like, 100% it proved it. Like, across the board, they abuse their power.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's just a thing that happens in your brain. Like, you can't even help it sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
it just goes to your head sometimes. And, you know, like,
yeah, a lot of that too. Like, there's some people out there that like power doesn't go to their heads and are more well equipped to handle stress and different things.
It all depends.
And it's the same with
person.
cops and COs and shit. Like, I think we need like a better like vetting process. Like, like maybe they should take like a psychology test and see where they fall within like the big five, or where if they have particular personality traits that make them more likely to fall under stress or to be abusive power, shit like that, because like it is a hard job and it's not meant for everybody, but it's also like not that difficult to become a cop either.
It isn't, honestly. You have, I think it's like 4 months of training.
Yeah, and like, dude, you end up with a lot of shitty people being cops.
There's
a lot of people that want to be in like the FBI and shit, and they don't make it, and they just end up being a city cop, and it's like, I don't know, like there's just a lot of really shitty people that are cops.
Yeah, a lot of racists. Like,
yeah,
dude, honestly, I feel like, I don't know what the percentage, obviously, but like, I would say the majority of like the major cities in the United States are controlled by white supremacist groups. Because if you look back on it, segregation was not that long ago. What, like 60 years ago?
Yeah, segregation and even slavery, dude. Like, slavery seems like it was a long time ago, but that's
fact,
really only a couple of generations ago.
The fact that there's sundown towns, you know what those are? All white towns.
Oh shit.
They still exist today. You can look it up on Google. Sundown towns. By sundown, all black folk have to be outside the city. That's what their definition is.
No shit.
That's insane, man. Like that.
You know what else exists? This is kind of a little off topic, but I want to say it's like Venezuela and like a bunch of like Latin American countries. There's like straight towns where like everybody speaks German. They're straight German towns because like a bunch of Nazis escaped to like those countries like after World War II, and like there's literally like towns of just straight German people like in Latin America. Yeah, it's because they're all like they're not Nazis, but like they're cool. Descendants of Nazis.
That's kind of cool, but it's not cool at the same time. You get what I'm saying? Like,
dude, you know how many Nazis like ended up just working for the U.S. government after World War II?
Really?
Like, yeah, dude. All sorts of fucking... a lot of them ended up working for, like, NASA and shit. Straight up.
does not sound like it should be.
They weren't necessarily doing ethical research, but they were pretty big into science and shit. I don't agree with Nazis or anything, but just history, man.
I don't.
Yeah.
I gotta run to the bathroom.
All right, word.
I will be right back, folks.
I'm gonna rip your vape while you're gone. What do you got in here?
Guava watermelon.
Guava watermelon. Okay. So tasty, but also illegal in New York State. I can't believe they banned flavored vapes. I'll wait till he gets back. We're gonna have a nice chat about flavored vapes. I'm digging the setup we've got going on here. This is a bit more comfortable than my setup for sure. Like I said, me and him are hoping to get an apartment in the next couple of months, and possibly with Bryce, the man from the first episode as well. And we're gonna have a fucking studio. I'm super excited for that. Studio for making music, making podcasts, making YouTube videos, writing, all that type of stuff. Just a general creative room. I was mentioning vapes while you were gone, my guy.
Vapes? What kind of vapes?
Just flavored vapes in general. Speaking of, I just dropped my vape under your couch, but it's a good thing I got another one right here.
Drop what?
My vape is under your couch.
Oh.
Dude, you remember Juuls? Oh my god, those things would get lost in a couch like nothing.
And Junos.
Yes.
Junos were my first Salt Nick vape that I've ever tried.
Salt Nick for me, I want to say was probably either a Juul or a Juno, for sure.
Juno.
One of the two. I think mine was a Juno too.
I had never heard of Salt Nick until Juno.
Yeah. These are like, it's crazy because like the evolution of vaping, dude. I remember carrying around like a clunky ass mod that was as big as this microphone. This is a Honeydew Punch.
Oh, this is good.
Yeah, it is. And now they're just so discreet and so convenient. And like, as much as I love like chucking big ass clouds and doing vape tricks, I will be one of the people that says, you know, as cool as you might think that is, like when I was younger, you know, I was just walking down the street, monster clouds, but like that was honestly obnoxious as fuck. Like it just is.
Yeah, it was very inconvenient too.
Yeah, you couldn't fit into your pocket, and then it always like auto fire in your pocket. Yeah, dude, you know how many like fires started because of those like batteries?
Yeah, they were a bad idea.
If you left them plug in, they just heat up so much. Like
vaping has advanced so much, honestly. Like the disposable is honestly the perfect vape.
You want to know what's absolutely insane too? Is that vaping is just now becoming a thing in like the last like handful of years, say the last decade, right? You know that the first ever e-cigarette was made in like the 1920s or 1930s? Like
how so?
I don't know exactly how so. Like I just remember reading like a thing. I can't necessarily cite my sources off the top of my head, but I remember seeing and reading a thing like that there was an electronic cigarette in like the early 1900s.
I would be interested to try that, honestly.
Bro, I wouldn't try half the shit that was around in the 1900s.
I would,
You tried driving a car that was made in the 1900s, no powered steering. Fucking... Dude, did I tell you I almost got into a car crash not that long ago?
Dollar General, right?
Yeah. So I'm pulling out of my, where I live. I'm pulling out of the parking lot. And I start pulling onto the road, and I've got traffic. Like, just as I start pulling out, there's like a car coming this way. I'm pulling out this way, right? There's another car coming this way. And I'm just pulling out like normal. Fucking... my powered steering gives out, and dude, I was like, oh my god, because I couldn't just hit the brakes because I would have gotten T-boned. Like, I didn't realize what it was at first, and I just cranked the wheel. Like, you have to crank it hard when you have powered steering. But luckily I made it, and then like I went down the road to this Dollar General, and I went in, bought some groceries, came back out, my car just wouldn't start. I had a bad alternator and shit, I had to get it towed. It's a nice little fucking $500 fix. Between getting it towed, the parts and the labor and everything was like $500.
Oof.
Yeah.
Didn't you also? Wasn't that the same year? No, that was the year before. You hit it like a deer or some shit.
Oh yeah, dude, I hit a deer. Like, yeah, fucking. I
I
was
remember
coming
you
back
came
from.
to Riley's apartment.
Yeah, because it was it was my senior year, and back when I was in high school, dude, my schedule was like, it literally was because like I had a lot of study halls and shit my senior year, so like I could get most of my homework done in school, and so I just do school and like homework all day, and I get out of school like 2, 3 in the afternoon, and most of the time I was working by 3 or 4 o'clock in the evening. So I would, and my school, Shazy School, was like probably a half hour from where I worked, and yeah, so I'd drive to work, and then I'd just work my shift, and then I'd get out at anywhere from like 9 to like midnight. I'd get out, come home, just get high as fuck, chill for a little bit, and then I'd go to bed. Well, there's one night, dude, I stayed super late, dude. I went to school all day, and then I worked like super late. Like somebody called out, so I stayed super late, dude. It was like 11 o'clock at night, dude. And I wasn't fucked up or anything. I wasn't on my phone. I was stone cold sober, just tired as fuck, dude. I'm driving home, and I come around this corner, and there's a deer in both lanes. There's one deer in each lane, and there's another car coming in the other lane. They swerve and miss their deer, but then both deer like ran, and I swerved, dude. I swerved this way because the deer were stopped in the middle of the road. I swerved, and then as I'm swerving, both deer just start running, dude, and I clipped one of them and fucked my car right up.
I remember. Yeah, I remember the night. Like it was like 9 o'clock at night. It was it was after McDonald's, right?
Yeah, it was after McDonald's. I think it was like closer to 11 o'clock at night. It was like 11, 12 at night.
Because I think that was during the week. I was staying at Riley's.
Yeah, I remember going up there like a day or two later, and you guys were all there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been chilling a hot minute for sure. Like, we didn't chill a lot in high school, because I know...
we did, but like, we didn't at the same... We chilled during lunch for a couple times.
Yeah, well, you were in one of my study halls, so I remember chilling with you in study hall. You were actually, when I moved to Shazy, you were one of the... I think you were the first person I talked to, if not one of them.
Well, I think it was me and Megan.
Yeah. I don't remember who was first, but yeah, I remember, like, you hopped on the bus and we were talking and shit. And then like I said, we chilled in high school a little bit, and then... It wasn't until I started going to that apartment that you were there sometimes, and then next thing you know, we were just chilling all the time.
Yeah. I remember we used to play Fortnite all the time.
Yep.
Fucking with Riley. Good times.
When did we start making music together?
Music?
Yeah.
I would say, our first song was the Matt Lauer diss.
Oh my god, yeah, we made a diss track on Matt Lauer after he got exposed for sexual misconduct in the workplace is what it was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have gone after anybody else, but we
chose
Matt Lauer.
That song was so cringe.
That was the year that everybody got accused of sexual...
Yeah, dude.
We could have went after Aziz Ansari. You know how many things rhyme with Aziz Ansari? Probably
Safari.
Not Safari, like, alone. Like, that would have been a fire rhyme. But no, we chose Matt Lauer and, like, Flower or some shit.
Yeah, something about him abusing power or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, that was the first song we ever made together, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've come a long way.
Four Loko.
Yep.
I gotta let Sadie out.
Oh, word. The dog needs to go outside. Chase, should we play for them the song we made today?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I think we've been making music together off and on for like, 2 years now?
2 or 3.
Give or take.
2.5 probably.
This is the first song I've made in a hot minute for sure. But yeah, pull that up. Put that speaker next to the mic. We'll play this.
Yeah, we just made this like probably about an hour ago.
Yeah, facts. So just before making this podcast, we made a song. think it's one of our better songs.
I like to think so, yeah. I think we get steadily better with every song. I mean, that could just be me, but
I mean, I
feel
don't
like
necessarily believe in perfection,
I feel like people
but
would
they
agree.
do say, you can always get better, but practice does,
I feel like people would agree
make
though.
you better.
Like with each song, we're finding our flow more.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I remember some of the cringy ass shit I made back in high school. Won't even talk about some of
Can
them.
I just feel happy? I'm feeling shade.
This is Chase
but
right
the
here.
sun shining at me. Feeling so alone. I'm numb down to the bone. Never had nobody gonna get it on my own.
This is me.
Sick of being loner. You should come over, get less sober till the night is over. You be crying on my shoulder.
This is my verse as well.
Women act like I'm the boulder, but I ain't no soldier, I'm a broker. And as I'm getting older, weight stacking on my shoulder. But it's like poker, ain't a fucking folder, just don't know when to quit. And I can't catch a break, can't get over shit. So I lie awake all night long, so I gotta get baked. Grab the fucking bong, keep chugging along, feeling like a time bomb. Deep inside, feeling like I won't live long. But a piece of my mind, pray that I'm wrong. How I wanna be alive, but I also wanna die. Could be a sign of the times when
Fuck it, I'll take a cigarette.
raps like the minds wouldn't do their human minds do the damn rights. Wishing I could bounce, catch on in a fortnight. Then I lie awake for the fourth night, watching Instagram live. Revolutions taking time. Pray to God we get it right. Pray to God we make it right.
I don't see no future when I'm looking at the window. So got you on my mind, but I'm wishing I could let you go. I know you got somebody else and put me back up on the shelf. Yet I'll still be there for you when you had nobody. So got them suicidal thoughts, but I can't let them demons get to me. Been working on my sound. I have a million when I'm 20, and I have always been alone. Well, that's why I am so cautious, and I can't let any other fake fuckers think it's all made me nauseous. Cause now I'm trying to focus, trying to work on my grind. I got all those I'm trying to leave them behind. I got fake friends, I'm trying to leave them behind. Yeah, the perks steady hitting, they be numb in my mind. Cause I'm trying to focus, trying to work on my grind. I got all those I'm trying to
Give me
leave
that
them
empty
behind. I got fake friends, I'm trying to leave them behind. Yeah, the perks steady hitting, they be numb in my mind.
Sick of being lonely. You should come over, get less sober till the night is over. I'll be crying on your shoulder.
Why the fuck can I just feel happy? I'm feeling shade, but the sun shining at me. Feeling so alone, I'm numb down to the bone. Never had nobody gonna get it on my own.
This was all made in Audacity.
Yeah.
That's the thing, man. People tend to overthink shit. Like, when I was doing YouTube back in the day, when I was like 14, 15, man, I made everything right on the internal, like, PS4 capture card. And it wasn't, like, the best thing in the world, dude. But, if you have, like, a dream or a passion or anything, dude, if you put your mind to it, you can get it done.
Anything
You don't
is
need the
possible,
most
really.
ridiculous equipment to do it. Like, this podcast, the
Dude,
videos on my fucking phone. I've got a 2008 laptop.
here's the thing, dude.
cheap USB mic, we're getting it done.
You know Rubbing Off the Paint by YB Endemir, right?
Yeah.
That was done on the USB. That was done on a snowball.
Oh,
On a
shit.
snowball, dude.
Yeah. That's like a what?
In
Like
his
a
closet.
$50 mic?
Not even 45 MX.
Yeah, Little Peep too. Didn't he have like one of his biggest songs was recorded in his fucking bedroom, right?
Okay, are we talking about Lil Peep?
Yeah, you want to talk about Lil Peep?
I want to talk about Lil Peep.
The man, the myth, the legend.
See, what the fuck are you fucking talking about? No. Hey, what have we done?
Did she get her leash all tangled?
Yeah.
Dogs don't give a shit too. They just keep running around. They're like, if I had something wrapped around my leg, I'd be like, I gotta fix this. Dogs would be like, nah, I'm just gonna run around.
Keep running. Sounds good to me. Okay, so Lil Peep, right? Where do we start? Where should we start?
Wherever you want, man. I was talking about the song that he made like in his bedroom. Like one of his biggest songs.
No,
Which
so,
song was that?
Crybaby. That was Crybaby. Or no, that was Star Shopping.
Was it? Dude, that's one of my
Star
favorite
Shopping.
Peep songs.
The thing with Star Shopping, right? It's only like 2 minutes and something seconds. He recorded that in 20 minutes. He wrote that and recorded it in 20 minutes.
No shit.
But the reason it's not longer, the mic broke. Like, one of his best songs, dude, in 20 minutes. You cannot tell me this dude was not destined for greatness. Peep was the next big thing, dude.
I don't think he hit his peak, dude. I think he was gonna peak in like his late 20s.
Peep was the next big thing. He was the next big thing, dude. Like, he was the perfect blend of emo, right? So you have a little bit of Juice WRLD in there. I mean, Juice WRLD was his own thing, but like, you have a little bit of like the emo punk rock shit, right?
Dude, do you remember when we listened to Juice? Before he had anything on Spotify, he had Lucid
10,000
Dreams
plays.
And one other thing.
10,000 plays.
He had 10,000 people when we started listening to him, dude. And we both looked at each other like, this guy's gonna blow up. He's the next fucking Post Malone.
Yeah,
like,
he sounded like Post Malone, honestly. I thought it was Post Malone at first.
Yeah, dude. And like, dude, he had features with everybody, dude. Literally everybody.
I think the first feature I remember Juice WRLD in was probably... I can't even think right now of like the first time I heard... I mean, well, the first time I heard Juice WRLD was probably like when Trevor showed us, so it was like My Fault. Like, All Girls Are the Same, like when that first came out.
Yeah, it was All Girls Are the Same and Lucid Dreams.
Autograph.
Those were the only two songs he had out when we first listened to him.
He had Autograph.
Did he?
He had My Fault. He had Lucid Dreams. And I believe he had one more song.
He didn't have anything on Spotify. I remember that.
No, he was not on Spotify. Speaking of Juice WRLD on Spotify, did you know he has a bunch of unreleased songs just under different names?
Does he?
He does.
No shit.
Dude, I swear to God that some of them are his best songs. Like, one is like...
Yeah, I think like we're gonna see Juice WRLD songs for a long time to come, just because he had so much shit. Dude.
I think it was like 900 songs he had saved on his laptop when he died. Like at least 900 songs we have. That's not to say like
it's gonna be a sad day when the last Juice WRLD song ever comes out,
dude. That's the thing with Peep though, right?
Does he have any more music coming out?
He has one more album, but it already got leaked. It was not that great, if I'm being honest. I love McConan. So he kind of ruined the album for me, right?
Oh, it was all with that guy?
Well, so here's the story with Pete, right? So like, I could tell you like everything, but I'm not trying to like go through everything. So like, basically, towards the ending stage of his life, he was living in London, right? And that's when he recorded this album with McConan. Like, he was living his best life. And he decided to go on one last tour with GBC. God Boy Click. I don't know this for a fact, but I have spoken personally with his grandmother, right?
Have you?
I have.
No shit.
Her name is Jenny Kastner. I mean, you can see her in the documentary. But she told me... You know MacNed, right?
No.
He was in GVC. He made a bunch of songs with Pete, but like a couple popular ones. But like the story goes, basically MacNed set it up where he got these fake pills for Pete, right? Because the whole plan for Pete was after this tour he was gonna leave GBC. And that's why he wanted to go on one more tour with them. So he went on one more tour, and he went to Arizona. MacNed set it up with this girl named Maria.
Was that where he died, in Arizona?
Arizona. It was in Tucson, Arizona.
Dude, that's where my fucking grandfather lives.
November 16th,
2017,
I believe. Or 2018. I'm not sure.
I think he was 2017.
2017, yeah. But anyways, so like MacNed basically set the whole thing up. He got fake press Xans for Pete, right?
Yeah, it was Xanax laced with fentanyl.
Yeah, dude. So Pete ended up taking like 4 times the lethal dose of fentanyl. So like anybody would have died. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't Pete being a fucking weak ass, because I've heard that. Like, right. Anybody would have died. Like, that much fentanyl. They left him sitting alone on the bus for 4 hours before anybody checked on him. And you and I both know when anybody's fucked up, you check on them. Like, you want to make sure they're okay. Yeah, that's a
big fact.
You want to make sure they're okay. They didn't take too much. They're chilling, right? 4 hours go by. Like, you've probably seen the video with Bexy Swan.
Yep.
He walks in, he's like, "Oh, Peep, he's fallen asleep." Classic Peep. And there's a 911 call. Like, they're calling the police. Like, yo, he took too much or something. He's not waking up. Like, he's just passed out. Like, 4 hours go by. Like, you don't. I don't care. Like, if you love anybody at all and they take drugs, right? You don't let 4 hours pass by before you check on them.
Yeah.
And, like, just the fact that he was planning on leaving Goth Boy Click, like, after this tour, right? And keep in mind, Peep was destined to blow up.
Oh, facts, dude.
Like, he was the next big thing. I mark my words on that.
I'm sad I didn't listen to him before he passed. I started listening to him after he passed.
The thing with Peep, I listened to him before he passed, but I didn't respect the art until after he passed, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Like,
I had heard Witchblades, like, I had heard Hellboy and shit. But, like, I liked him. I love Peep now. Like,
yeah.
He saved my life countless times.
I mean, in a way, dude, he revolutionized saved rap. My life, dude, because honestly, like, I was fucking 16, 17 at the time, and when I didn't know about Peep or anything. Like, I'd never even heard of him until he passed away. But I remember, like, hearing that this man took Xanax laced with fentanyl, and I was just like, at the time, that was the summer where I was doing a lot of Xanax, dude. I was like 16, 17, like, should not have been doing Xanax as much as I was doing Xanax at that age. And I heard that, and I was just like, whoa, like, shit. I was like, I need to stop doing Xanax. I didn't touch another Xanax for years after that. And recently I've, done Xanax here and there, but nothing like I was the summer before, and I always go through reliable people and everything, but
yeah.
Fucking, dude, that was really eye-opening for me, for sure.
Dude, the thing with Peep,
all it takes is one bad pill, dude.
Yeah, man, like, you'd never know. I always want to test my shit, but I don't have the means to test my shit, you know what I mean?
That's a problem with the illegality of drugs, is, like, drugs would honestly be a lot safer if they were fucking legal.
They would. They should be regulated and, like, taxed, I feel like. Make it legal.
Yeah, could you imagine how much tax revenue would come off of fucking drugs? Like, look at marijuana alone, dude.
Marijuana alone. In Colorado, they made, like, what, like $6 billion? And, like, how many years has it been? Probably, like, 5?
We got legalized out there in, what, like 2014?
Yeah, and shrooms recently in, like, 2016.
Are shrooms legal out there?
Yeah, they are, in Colorado.
Oh, shit. Oh, I thought this went under the couch. I gotta stop throwing my vapes around.
No, I would actually like to really go to Colorado because I feel like it would just be a whole...
There's a lot of places I'd like to go, man. Upstate New York is
limiting us.
It's it's a very limiting place. It's better than some places, but
it's a very niche market.
This can't be my final destination, man. Upstate New York is.
I mean,
not,
I don't
mind. Maybe I'll retire
out
here or something, but
like I don't mind if it's my final destination, but like it's not my middle destination. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, dude. I'd like to go out west, man. Oregon, Colorado, somewhere out there.
I would like to go. Honestly, it'd be expensive, but Colorado. I mean. California.
Yeah, California's pretty expensive for sure.
Oh, I overfilled that like a motherfucker.
It's crazy how bad California's on fire right now.
That is crazy, actually. I actually have a friend who lives in Kaiser, Oregon.
Yeah, Oregon's getting fucked by the fires too, really bad.
She might.
Oregon's a mess in general, dude. All the shit in Portland too.
She might have to actually evacuate because of the wildfires.
Yeah,
and that's crazy. Like that started in I don't know where in LA. I mean, we're in California, but that started somewhere in California.
Yeah,
already spread to fucking Kaiser, Oregon, which is probably like 5 hours north of it.
Dude, I read a thing recently that like. They're seeing effects of the wildfires out in California, all the way in Vermont.
No, we are, dude.
Yeah,
that's why it's been so cloudy.
Dude, when a whole, place like that burns, dude, that doesn't just California doesn't exist in a bubble, dude. That affects the rest of the world, dude. Same with like the Amazon rainforest, dude. That's what's sickening, dude. That's like majority of like where our breathing air comes from.
That's life.
Yeah, dude.
A lot of life comes out of the Amazon. Like you think, like even paper. I mean, like we rely on it. You know what I mean? But like you were saying, oxygen and shit. And I mean, like what the Amazon covers what percentage of the earth? Like I'm not even sure the percentage, but like it's overwhelming percent of the earth, and like we're just chopping it down.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't agree with
That,
that.
that's one thing. Like, I'm not necessarily for or against Trump, but I will say I hate the fact that he calls climate change a fucking hoax, dude. Climate change is not.
That is
a
not
hoax.
a hoax. It is 100% happening, and there's
Yeah.
proof of it. The fucking ice caps are melting.
Did you see? I want to say it was. I think it was California. They just banned the sale of gasoline vehicles by 2035. I think.
Oh, so it's only going to be electric?
I'm assuming.
I'm wondering how that will work.
Everybody's gonna have a fucking Tesla, dude.
I mean, but the thing is, like, they can't make everybody buy a Tesla. You know what I mean?
Well, there'll be other ones for sure.
Unless they're gonna give everybody an electric car.
I mean, look at the iPhone. The iPhone was the first smartphone, and look how many smartphone brands there are nowadays. You know.
True, and I mean,
And
like, they
that's
were
the thing,
also
too,
like the
with,
first
like-
to get a. They were the first to get away with the auxiliary port, and now everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
So like, we have no need for an auxiliary port nowadays.
Everything's Bluetooth, man.
Bluetooth.
Even the chips they want to start putting in people's fucking brains.
Yeah, that's
That's
insane.
a whole nother thing.
That is
dude.
insane.
I don't know.
I mean,
there's a part of me that's like, this could be really useful, but it's like, I don't know. You look at a cell phone, like a cell phone's really useful, but it's also really, really misused by a majority of the fucking people that have them.
By everybody.
Yeah, I'd say by just about everybody. Like,
I feel like everybody's guilty of that.
yeah.
I mean, we literally have the power. We have more power than anybody's ever had at the tip of our fingers.
Yeah. I remember I heard somebody one time say that right now, with like a smartphone in your hands, you have more power than the President of the United States did in 1940.
We do. I mean,
Yeah.
we can look up anything that we've ever wanted to know.
Yeah, anything you need to know at the snap of a finger. And it's like, that's good, but it's like, I don't know, you're more powerful having a cell
You're
phone.
more powerful, but you're more disconnected.
But at the end of the day,
You're connected, but you're disconnected.
yeah, there's that. But at the end of the day, I feel like if you're too accustomed to a cell phone, you might feel more powerful, or you might be more powerful in that moment. But what happens when your cell phone dies, or you just don't have your cell phone? At that point, you're weaker than if you'd never had a cell phone in your life. Because how many people nowadays don't know how to read a map?
We rely
Don't
on
know
it
how
so
to look
much.
up shit in a dictionary? Like,
We honestly do rely on smartphones so much.
yeah,
like,
my next road trip, dude, I'm like not taking a. It's not that I'm not gonna take my phone, but I'm not using my Google Maps. None of that shit. I'm using a fucking map. My next road trip.
I'm gonna use Google Maps only because it's more convenient, but I get what you're saying. Like,
Yeah, no, I don't know. I've never really like had to use a map. You know, like I feel like that's something I should probably at least be comfortable with doing.
yeah, true. No, that's definitely a good skill to learn.
For sure.
So, back to music. What are some artists you think are up and coming?
Ian Dior. I mean, he's kind of already blown up a little bit, but
I like Andy.
I like Ian Dior a lot. 24K Golden, I like him a lot too. He's definitely up and coming. He had a lot of cool shit on the Internet Money album. I like that.
Yeah.
That was all in all, that was like a phenomenal album.
That was a great album.
The
yeah.
lineup of artists and just the fact that like there was so many people on songs that I never expected to see together on a song. Like 24K Golden and Wiz Khalifa, like that was unexpected, but it was really good.
Yeah, no, I really like that album. I love the Juice WRLD song they had with Blast Off with Trippie Redd.
I like all of his shit with Trippie Redd. They're such a good combo.
Tell Me Love Me, like, yeah, it's a good song. Like, it's a banger, honestly. But no, so, like, up-and-coming artists, I gotta give a shout-out to my bro, Blake Basic. He's been killing shit lately. I think he's up to like 7 million listens on Scroll.
That's small to some people, but like,
Dude,
regardless of how big you are, dude, 7 million is still a lot.
He's the most viewed video on Scroll, which is what he uploaded.
What is
to.
Scroll?
So Scroll is basically like a music promotion service to YouTube. I think they have like 200,000 subscribers or some shit like that. But like, you pay a certain amount of money and they post it to their YouTube. But yeah, he's the most viewed video on their history.
Oh shit.
At 7 million. And like, dude, he has a song with Trippy the Kid. And Trippy the Kid just made a song with Ski Mask. Like,
did he?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So like, that is insane by itself.
Ski Mask is, I don't like some of his shit because it's kind of like, it's kind of a meme almost.
Yeah.
But like, that being said, that man can do any type of fucking flow.
Yes.
And like, he's definitely one of the more talented artists of our generation.
I feel like he doesn't fully try on his song. Like, he does, obviously, he tries on his songs, but like, I don't feel like he hasn't reached the peak of his lyricism yet.
Yeah.
I feel like he's eventually gonna mature into like more like deeper rap. Eventually. Like, for now I'm loving the meme shit, but like, eventually he's gonna go into like more deeper shit, I feel. And I feel like he'll fully reach his peak then.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's more the wave nowadays in music, like sad boy shit, like, you know, like.
Yeah, the trend has kind of been set for like the sad boy shit, emo type shit. Yeah, for sure.
Like with like every big artist nowadays, like X, Peep, Juice, like, I mean,
you know who I think too is incredibly underrated? Paris, dude.
Paris Shadows, yeah.
Yeah, he's not Paris Shadows anymore. I think he's just, or no, he is Paris Shadows.
Yeah.
He used to just be Paris, right?
No,
Yeah.
No, I saw him live. He opened up for Post Malone.
I want those two to make a fucking song together, dude.
That would be awesome. But so like, he invited people to get drunk. And like, at the time, I had never listened to Paris, right? So like, I was like, oh, fuck this dude. And like, I'm not gonna go get drunk with him. But now that I listened to him, dude, I wish I went and got drunk with him.
I obviously had deleted Instagram, but I was following him on Instagram, dude, and he seems like a pretty genuine dude. Like, I feel like I could definitely vibe with like Paris.
He used to be like a firefighter and shit, I guess.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I guess that was his old profession in California. He apparently used to be homeless too. Like, he came up from nothing.
Yeah, there's some people are like that, dude. Like Chris Pratt was homeless before he got on Parks and Rec.
Who else? Fucking PNB Rock. PNB Rock used to be homeless.
No shit.
And he's killing shit. I mean, he's
dude,
not,
he had a concert in Plattsburgh, dude.
Did he?
Yeah, a couple years back.
Oh yeah.
I didn't end up going, but like,
yeah,
it was
PNB and like Casanova or some shit.
Yep, that's yeah.
I've never listened much to him, but I do like the couple songs I've heard by him.
Another guy I like too that's pretty underrated is Clever. Fucking he had a song with Juice WRLD, like, and that song blew up. That song made him like blow up for sure. But I like a lot of his other shit. He's got this song called Loyalty, dude. One of those lines in that song hits fucking to my core, dude. It's like, sometimes loyalty comes with a lawyer fee. So that's a fact, dude.
Yeah. You know, I've never really liked Clever that much, if I'm being honest.
I like some of his shit. Like, he definitely, a lot of his older shit was like kind of like hard rap and shit. But he went to prison and he got out of prison and like he's making a different type of music. Setting a different type of brand for himself now.
I've heard talks that he might be a industry plant.
I don't know.
Because like one of his like very first songs was a song with Juice WRLD.
No, that wasn't one of his first songs at all. That was like one of his first like big songs when he got out of prison and shit.
Oh.
But no, I remember Juice WRLD posted like one of Clever's songs and was like, "Who is this guy? Like, somebody find out. Like, I need to get this guy on a song with me." And then that's how like they ended up having a song together.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. He's got a song with Post Malone and Justin Bieber. That's a weird combination, Justin Bieber, Post Malone, and Clever. There might be somebody else on that song.
I feel like
too.
Justin Bieber and Post Malone actually go good on a track together.
Yeah, I
Like, Deja
definitely
Vu
didn't
is
like
one
a
of my-
lot of Justin Bieber's old shit, but like he's definitely
He's not a bad artist.
Yeah, he's not a
honestly.
bad artist at all.
Like his newer shit is much more respectable. Like
Yeah,
okay,
for sure.
I see you.
And like at the end of the day too, like you can't judge, especially like music artists too, because like even we were talking about it earlier, the progression we've made is like we're not like major music artists or anything, but we fuck around and we make music from time to time. And I don't know, dude, as you get older and just like your music and your style,
Your
everything
sound,
changes
your
too.
taste,
Yeah. Like, I don't know, because like Justin Bieber, when he first started, dude, he was fucking, what, like 14, 15?
He was young.
Young as shit,
Yeah,
dude.
like 12 even.
Yeah.
Might have even been a teenager.
Like, I don't know, dude. It's like, to be famous when you're young, you kind of suck, in my opinion.
I feel like some people can just hit really hard, like Macaulay Culkin.
He's the guy from Home Alone.
Yeah,
right? No
he
shit.
crashed really hard, but then I mean he's making a bounce back now. Though that's the thing, like you can bounce back from anything.
Oh, for sure.
But like I feel like child celebrity status does ruin a lot of people.
Well, I don't know. I feel like it makes you kind of materialistic from a young age. Not everybody.
I
but
mean
a lot
it
of
does,
them.
but like at the same time, like it makes you. Like, yeah, like, you expect that kind of lifestyle the rest of your life, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that, and, like, also, too, like, the high, that's why, like, even a lot of UFC fighters and shit, like, they retire, and, like, they always go back. There's some people, you know, that'll just fucking quit and never go back and, you know, move on with their lives, do another thing, but, like, when it comes to being famous and shit like that, I feel like just the highs and, like, the feelings that you get from that and, like, just everything. Like, to just not have that, you just feel empty, like a lot of people do. Like, I wouldn't necessarily know, like, I can't speak on it because I've never been famous or anything, but I definitely feel like that would be the case for a lot of people.
yeah, because I feel like that's a good source of, like, validation for those people.
Yeah.
And once you don't have that, you miss it.
Yeah, the real thing is going to be, like, all these TikTokers in the next, like, 10, 20 years. All these young-ass kids that are, like, famous on TikTok. Like,
I don't understand TikTok, dude.
I don't either. I post, like, gaming clips to TikTok. Like, I feel like that's, like, the perfect platform to post, like, your
posted
Xbox
a couple,
clips and shit.
but, like, still, like, I don't understand what makes things popular on TikTok. Like, it's so fucking random, dude.
Yeah.
Like, one, it's a girl dancing, right? Next, it's a girl, like, oh, here's a story time, right? Like what? Like,
yeah, it's
at least
all
have
over
some
the
kind of
place.
consistency.
Yeah.
Like, at least be funny. Come on.
Yeah. I don't know. You can get famous for the dumbest shit nowadays, man.
Dude, people get famous for, like, just hurting themselves. Either hurting themselves or being addicted
and, like,
to society.
shit like, yeah,
Boonk
like
Gang.
Boonk, yeah.
Boonk is it...
Yeah,
now
he's a
no,
literal fucking
don't
douchebag,
get me
dude.
wrong. He's changed himself. Like, he's a musician now. I respect him now.
Oh, is he? No,
yeah, no,
shit.
he makes... his name is Joey Gabbana now. He makes, like, straight music. But, like, when he was Boonk Gang, I did not respect it. Like, I thought it was funny at first, but, like...
Yeah, it's funny at first, but then you see all these videos of all these people, like, trying to mimic that, and they're just, like, walking out of they're just shoplifting and just treating like people. And, like, I worked at a grocery store, man. Like, dealing with that shit is just fucking annoying.
Have you ever
obnoxious,
seen Plain Potatoes?
No.
Okay, so, like, he goes up to just random people, like, and just fucking roasts them out of nowhere, like, and just harasses them. And, like, he got famous, and, like, he got known in his city as just being, like, a terrible person. Like, people would just call him out for his shit, like, before he would even start. And, like, there's this one video I just love. Like, so there's one guy, like normally people don't want to have, like, a conversation with him. They're just like, yo, dude, leave me alone, right?
Right.
This guy was like, why are you doing this? He's like, why are you treating this poor waitress like she's human garbage? And he's like, oh, your teeth are bad. And he was like, that doesn't address the question, sir. He's like actually just.
It's like some Donald Trump shit. He's swerving and avoiding every question. He doesn't like that question. Fake. That's not a question.
Fake news.
Fake question. Fucking, I don't know, man. We live in, like, a really ridiculous fucking time.
I mean, yeah, it's a ridiculous time, but it's also a good time to be alive.
It is, man, like, for sure. Like, we definitely, we enjoy a lot of comfortable things that, like, people back in the day didn't have.
We might be at the peak of music, too.
Yeah,
If you think about it.
there's some good ass music out, and it's coming out every day.
Every
dude. And it's
day.
easier to find too. Like
Easier
just
to
new
find
people.
than ever before. And like every day it feels like somebody's blowing up.
Yeah,
You know what I
people do
mean?
blow up overnight, man.
And like I mean, I feel like music has just like uniformly we've kind of found what we like as a society. You know what I mean? Like we like depressing shit. I feel like sad has always been the way to go. If you think about it, like Jimi Hendrix, even like back in the day, manic depression, like he was talking about that shit back in the day, and people loved it. It's always been a thing. Like people always relate to sadness. I feel like that's always going to be the thing in music.
Yeah, man. I didn't really listen to a lot of music when I was younger. And like I remember it was always just like whatever was on the fucking radio was just playing sometimes. Like I never had a favorite artist, like I never anything. And it wasn't until probably when I started hanging out with you and you started showing me different artists and different things. And like I don't know, I really enjoy music, man. Like I from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed, I probably listen to music most of my day. Whenever I'm writing, I'm listening to music. Whenever I'm gaming, I'm listening to music. If I'm working out, I'm listening to music. Hell, we're listening to music while doing a podcast. You know what I mean? Like I'm always listening to music, dude.
It's always relevant. Everybody can always relate to any sort of music.
Yeah.
Like that
There's
that is the universal.
There's only
language.
one type of music that I don't really like, and that's country music. Well, I
See,
like,
the
and I
thing is-
still, you know, I don't necessarily care for it, but I still appreciate it and respect it, and I think a lot of that comes from like making music myself.
You understand the process.
Yeah, the shit that goes into a song.
But no,
it's
it's
not so simple.
I respect some country. Like I like Zach Brown Band. I don't think they're traditionally country. Like they're kind of more bluegrass. But I really like the stuff they make. There's a couple other country artists, but like country as a whole, I feel like it's the most simple music to listen to. I feel like that's why most people like it. You know what I mean? Like it's depressing sometimes, it's happy sometimes, but at the same time, it's like, oh, I'm not some kind of rich millionaire. Like like rap nowadays is more like.
Yeah.
Fuck bitches, get money.
Yeah, there's a lot of like clout
Like
in the music
not a lot of
industry
people
and shit.
can relate to that. But, like we'll bump to it, but we won't relate to it. You know what I mean? Like country is the most. Sometimes it's the most relatable. Like,
Yeah.
Heartbreak.
One
like,
thing too is like a lot of people will like listen to a song, but they don't really listen to a song. You know what I mean? Like there's some songs like people will be like straight like, oh, I love this song. It's so upbeat, this and that, and like maybe the beat is upbeat.
Even
But if you listen to the lyrics, it's like about suicide
like,
and depression and
Life
like all
is
this
Beautiful
shit.
by Lil Peep. That's a perfect fucking example, dude. Like what's the lyric I'm looking for? Like he's basically talking about police brutality. He's like, isn't life comical? I think that life is comical. But like in the verse before, he's like, isn't life beautiful? I think that life is beautiful. Like to each different person, that means something else. You know what I mean? I think that's special.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine being alive in a time where like to hear music, like you actually had to like go and like. Don't get me wrong, it's awesome. It's probably better to experience it, someone playing an instrument and actually singing in person. But you can't, do that 24/7 like while you're driving. You can't have a band in your car. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know. They live in a time where it's like. You had to you couldn't listen to music all the time. I feel like life must have been so dull, man.
And like music has just evolved too. Like if you look at it from the 40s to now, like music evolves every day. Like no two pieces of music are the same. Like they might sound the same, they might have the same message, but each piece is unique. Like each artist crafted it to be that way. Be interpreted like they can be interpreted.
Yeah, I always wonder too, like because like we'll make a song and like certain people like won't catch like a certain lyric that we had, but it's like a lyric that like I don't know, that song that I played for you earlier that I made like it was like called Just Another Lost Soul, and one of the lines is like used to be that I was just another lost soul in a world full of dark souls, and like that had like a kind of a double meaning. And I always wonder like certain songs and artists like did that lyric have like an additional like meaning to that artist? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because for me, it was like in a world full of dark souls. Like it was obviously like everybody's like, you know, like just Dark Souls, like that type of deal. But it was also like kind of a throwback to like the game's Dark Souls, and you know, because that was just like super rage inducing and super challenging. And I feel like life can sometimes just be really fucking challenging and really fucking rage inducing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I always wonder, you know, like is there like a hidden meaning to certain songs that like you don't necessarily pick up on?
Speaking of that, dude, like, have you ever heard like the theory about some Led Zeppelin songs, like if you play them backwards, like Stairway to Heaven?
Oh yeah. There's certain songs, yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I think there were some Beatles songs like that too.
Beatles, yeah, like I know Stairway to Heaven is one. It's like if you play it backwards, I don't remember the specific lyric, but I know it sounds like one like demonic phrase.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. We actually we talked about that in one of my psychology classes.
It's interesting, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it makes you wonder, like, did they intentionally do that?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know, and like that's what sucks too is like you can't just like ask these artists, you know, questions. Like you can, but it's like the chances that you get an answer back is very rare.
Very slim to none.
Very slim to none, you know. Like I always wonder too when like artists like, you know, like big artists that like say like Ski Mask and X, you know, they were friends and they were like making music together and shit. Like when we make music together, sometimes we're like, oh shit, that slapped, you know, just certain shit like that. And it's like I wonder like just the process behind it, you know.
Yeah, I've always wondered that, like, obviously you've heard Members Only. Like, they have so many different artists on that, dude. And, like, I'm wondering if, like, did they shoot that in one take? Like, not one take, but, like, one sitting? Like, or did everybody work on that individually? Like, there's so many different things that people can do with music. I think that's special, dude. Like,
yeah.
Like, you never know, like, exactly the pain that artist went through to record that.
That's the thing, too, man. When it comes to, like, pain and depression and shit like that, it sucks to go through it, but, like, that's where some of the most beautiful and profound music, art, literature, all that shit. So a lot of that comes from, like, just deep pain and sorrow and fucking hard times, man.
Yeah.
Like, you get that perspective to, like, you know, really want to make something fucking beautiful.
That's, like, I hate to bring up Peep again, but, like, that's the thing with Peep. Like, everybody who met him, dude, like, have you watched the documentary?
I have not. I should.
Okay, so, like, in the documentary, like, people say, like, when they met him, like, they could tell, like, this kid's pain is real. Like, he's not bullshitting. Like, this is Peep at his core. And, like, I don't know, like, when you put something into music, you're putting your whole self into that. You know what I mean? People can feel that. Yeah, dude, it's
a form of expression.
Yeah, you express yourself. You say what you could never say just being a normal person.
Right.
Through music, you can express yourself. You can express it in so many different ways.
Yeah, it's crazy, too, how, like, a certain song will, like, make you feel a certain way.
Yeah.
Like a hype song, like, I don't know, like, for me, like, I guess a hype song would be, like, Reptilla by The Strokes. Like, that song, like, when I hear that come on, I just, like, I don't know, like, I want to get up and, like, do something, you know what I mean?
Yeah. When I hear, like, I don't know, like, Lucid Dreams by Juice WRLD. Like,
Makes me want to cry.
I want to cry in my room alone. Like,
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, music is fucking crazy, dude. It's one of my favorite things in this world, man.
It's beautiful and dark at the same time. Cause like I was saying, like, you don't know how much pain the artist was going through at the time they made
Yeah,
that.
dude, and like not only that too, but there's some songs like that you listen to, and it's like, you know, people love the song, but it's like you can just tell that this song was literally like a cry for help, and then nobody, you know, goes to help that person that made this song, you know.
Again, I hate to bring up Peep, right? But like, you've heard Runaway, obviously, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So, like, there's a theory he predicted his death in that song. He said, I was dying and nobody was there. He's like, basically, take me away from here. Everybody's so fake. Everybody's so fake, I swear.
Yeah.
And, like, that literally predicted his death, dude.
I mean, dude.
I was dying and nobody was there.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
And Juice WRLD, dude.
Music.
What's a 27 club? We ain't making it past 21.
Yeah, man. Like,
he died like a week after his 21st birthday.
They predict it, man. Like,
yeah.
I ain't gonna make it past 21, and sometimes they predict it.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy. Like, I remember when Juice WRLD died. Like, I woke up and I was like, "Yo, Ed, Juice WRLD died."
Oh yeah, dude. You
You
woke me up and I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Juice WRLD is dead."
Unbelievable.
Oh my god, dude! I just sat there for a hot minute and I was like, "Wow."
Yeah, like I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I was pretty shook, man.
And like when you lose like some of your favorite artists, like it makes you like really appreciate that art so much more. Because that's some of the last music you're gonna get from them. They always
say you don't appreciate it until it's gone. Man.
Yeah, man. Like,
and that's why we need, some bad things in this world to be able to really appreciate the good things. Because if everything was good, dude, you wouldn't appreciate the good things. Like, if everything was good, then, like, I don't know.
If everything was good, we would have no reason to appreciate the good things.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah, no,
like you can't really appreciate, a nice, beautiful day if you've never experienced a fucking rainy day,
Yeah. And that's the thing with these artists, though. Like, I'd like to see how this influences the next generation. Because, like, if you think about it,
I hope the next generation of artists don't fucking die young like they've been.
Well,
man.
no, like,
it's a tragedy.
It's not just that, but like, there's a common theme between the artists that have died. They've all been very deeply depressed. And because of that, like, it reflects in their music, right? So, like, their fans all reflect to that. Like, oh, yeah, like, I feel that, too. You know what I mean? Like, 3 straight. I mean, even Mac towards his later years, right? He was all sad boy shit.
Yeah.
Everybody fucking related to that shit. And
dude, before he died, dude, I think it was Travis Scott's album came out the same day as his album, like a couple weeks before he died.
Yeah, I saw.
And he literally said, "If I cause his album didn't blow up like his other ones possibly had." Oh, I'm getting a phone call. No.
Who is it? Is it still recording?
Hopefully. I gotta see. No, it's not.
Oh no. How late was it recording?
I don't know. I gotta see.
Should I stop the audio?
Oh, no. We're good. This one's just not gonna have a video. This one's just gonna have audio. Unfortunately, my phone, people kept calling me and shit. So this one is just gonna be audio, unfortunately. I'll add a little snippet in the beginning, me talking about that afterwards. That's unfortunate, but oh well. Technology, man, don't always fucking work. That's why I run the audio and the other thing. But yeah, so unfortunately, I guess this one's not gonna have any video. Oh well, fucking whatever. It'll be all set in stone and worked out once we have a fucking studio going. I'm actually gonna invest in an actual camera, so we don't have to use my phone. Probably improve the video quality and shit as well.
Yeah, I'd like to get a not even just the SLRs, but not even just an SLR, a video, actual video camera. That we can actually have this shit set up.
Yeah, big facts. Yeah. Dude, we should talk about what we were talking about earlier with the studio and having a creative room.
Yeah. Yeah, so we want to have a room basically dedicated to all the arts, painting, writing, anything you can think of. We want to have a mood for it.
Yeah, like we're gonna get an apartment. We want to have like whether it's like a side room or like an extra bedroom or whatever the fuck it is. We want to have it set up, with just like art paintings and like posters of like artists, music artists, different books and shit, and just like a nice vibe, like nice LED lights, a black light, like a bunch of stuff. And we want to have it set up so we can do podcasts in there, can record music. I'm writing a book, so I want to be able to write in there, maybe make some YouTube videos, do all of our editing and shit in there. And that'll probably also be like our smoke room too.
Yeah.
Soundproof the room so we, even if we have neighbors and shit, we can actually bump some fucking tunes. That would be ideal.
Nice.
For sure. But I think, like we were talking about earlier, like having like a certain setting and environment can like help you get into that flow state of creativity so much easier than like just being in like some dull like room,
Yeah, I think it comes down to your environment. Like, if you're in a place you're not comfortable with, you're not gonna
express yourself. Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, it comes down to how you're feeling as a person. And if you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it, like...
Yeah, that's my problem with me, man, with writing, is it's like, I don't know, like, obviously, like, a book isn't gonna write itself, and you do have to sit down and force yourself to write, but at the same point in time, like, I don't care when my book gets done. If it takes me 10 years to write a book that's 300 pages, so be it, man, because I'm not going to sit there and force myself to write when I'm not in that creative mindset or in that right flow state.
The best product
because when I force myself to write, the writing itself feels forced, like the writing itself just kind of feels really forced, as opposed to like when I'm in that, when I'm sitting down and I'm like, I really feel like writing today, I'll sit down and I'll write. And it just flows, man. And sometimes, like, I learned too, one of the biggest things that I've learned with writing is sometimes, dude, you just gotta let the story write itself. Like I'll have kind of an idea of what I want to happen, and then it's going and going, and then I'm just like, I don't know, like, I just feel like somebody needs to die here. Even though, like, I don't want to kill off a main character here. Like, it just feels almost natural that, like, this character would die in this type of way, you know what I mean? And you kind of just let the story write itself. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, because I feel like once you hit a certain point, like, you just kind of let your creative aspirations taking place. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, dude, it's so weird, too, when it comes to, like, being creative with certain things, because it's like, I'll sit down and write, and it's like, in the moment, like, I know that I'm physically writing that on a piece of paper or whatever, but then you look back, and it's at this complete chapter, and it's just, like, weird, man. It's like, holy shit, like, I wrote that? Like, I don't know, just the way it comes together. Like, when you're writing it, you don't necessarily, like, fully understand, like, the grasp and the whole depth of the whole thing. And then when you look back on it, like, I don't know, it's just, like, awesome to look back on shit that you created, for sure.
Yeah.
Whether it be music, a painting, a book, whatever the fuck it is, yeah. But there's something about being in that creative state that you're just able to, like, when you're in that flow state, you can just do so much shit, and then it's, like, it just comes together. And
it just comes naturally, it feels. Like,
yeah.
Your brain is subconsciously telling you, like, okay, this is where we need to go with this story, like,
right. And it's crazy how, like, a sculpture starts with one little carve, or a painting starts with one brush of the stroke, and it's like, you may have an idea, or a book starts with one word, you may have an idea of what that's gonna look like in the end, but, like, it's almost never how you picture it in your mind, I feel like.
Yeah, like, and also, like, there's so many different ways to interpret, like, literature, like,
yeah,
like, an author can mean it one way, and a reader can interpret it a totally different way and relate to that person so well, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's almost like I feel like readers find a way to make it relate to themselves. So sometimes, like, a book can relate to themselves more than intentionally, more than intentionally. Like, like what's a book I've read? Like, I mean, like we were talking about 1984. Like I relate to that nowadays. Like it feels like the government's controlling everything. They control what we see. They control what we think. You know, like that was written in like I think like 90s or no, that was like the 50s even. That was before even like internet was a thing. You know, like they predicted that shit and like somehow it's managed to stay relevant. Like everybody can relate to it. Like even if you can't relate to the technology portion of it, you can relate to the either romantic side of it, the problematic side of it. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude, I read like the Odyssey for the first time like in the past year or so in one of my Greek mythology classes. That book was written in like the fucking 400 BC, dude. 2,500 years ago. And it's like that book is still relevant. And you can still take away shit from that. And that was written 2,500 years ago. Like, that's an almost incomprehensible amount of time ago that this book was written. And it's like, that's crazy. Like, what is that Puya song? He's like, I could die, but my words will live forever. Some shit like that.
I think that's Aftershock.
It might be. But it's true, man. Like, your art lasts, dude. Like, look at, all the, like, the Mona Lisa, shit like that. It's like...
Yeah, like the Mona Lisa.
Art, like, transcends fucking time, dude.
And art also influences art. Like...
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure you've been inspired by some kind of writer, right?
Oh, yeah. For me, one of my big inspirations is, a little bit of Stephen King, and but mostly this author Jonathan Maberry. He wrote the Joe Ledger series as well as the Rotten Ruin zombie series.
I think I've heard of them. I've never read them, but
I think those are actually getting made into a TV or a movie. I'm not sure, one of the two.
That'd be cool.
Hopefully they don't fuck it up, man. A lot of times there's a rare chance where the movie's better than the book, but usually the book is just better than the movie.
Yeah, because it's the way the author intended it to be.
Right, yeah, that's the thing, like, kind of like what you're talking about, how people interpret books differently. Like, you're imagining all these characters to look a certain way and to, like, like, you're imagining, like, the facial expressions they have when somebody tells them, like, this or that.
Yeah.
But when you're watching a movie, you all see the same fucking thing. You know what I mean?
There's only one way to interpret it.
Yeah, yeah. Versus, like, a book, like you said, there's just... it's very subjective as to who's reading it.
Yeah, it's endless, really.
But yeah, I find, like, I used to read a lot. I don't read as much anymore. But, like, I don't know, I read a lot of, like, shit with school, obviously, but I don't read as much just for fun as I used to. Kind of want to get back into reading.
Honestly, like, the last, like, full, like, through book series I read was, like, Percy Jackson. That was a while back, but, like, that was the first...
I enjoyed those back
That was,
in the
like,
day.
the first and only book series I've
Did you read the ones that were set in the same universe, but it was all the Roman gods?
I have not.
Those are really good, too. I don't even remember what those were called, but those are really good.
I really like the Percy Jackson. I like the movie, too. I mean, it wasn't... With the movie, it kind of felt like they made it their own thing. Like, they weren't trying to interpret too much off the book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and that's what I respect about movies. Sometimes they take a different approach, and like they don't try to like they obviously they have the same story, but like they don't have the same build up. So like sometimes movies can do a book more justice than a book can. But at the same time, a lot of times the book is 10 times better than the movie.
Yeah. Did you ever read the Maze Runner books?
I saw the movies.
Yeah, the movies actually weren't bad.
I like
the main actor in that movie too, but the books were really good. The Divergent movies sucked ass. The books were fucking awesome.
Did you ever read I forget what it's called. Basically, it's like the City of Embers or some shit.
Oh, it
was
sounds
It was a
familiar.
book series, like the City of Embers. Like there was like 4 different books. Like they were in different orders. Like you weren't supposed to read the first book first. You know what I mean?
Right.
I remember that being a very good book series, and then they made a movie after it, and the movie was dog shit.
Dude, there's this one book that I read when I was younger, and I can't remember the name of it whatsoever, but it was so fucking good, dude. And I really like, because also too, when I was younger, like, my parents would like look at like a Grand Theft Auto video game case, and they see like the rated M for mature, and they knew what Grand Theft Auto was. They're like, oh, you're not playing that, or like same with movies, you know, they get ratings and shit. Books don't really get ratings, you know what I mean? Like an age rating.
Yeah.
So like maybe it's branded as like a young adult or like a teen fiction or something, but I was reading like some really like kind of fucked up books when I was younger, honestly. Like there was one that I read about like a nuclear apocalypse. That's not the one that I'm trying to think of that I can't remember, but that book was incredibly fucked up. But this book was about like these guys that like fought in like the Roman Colosseum was like part of it, and there was like a bunch of like lore about like werewolves and shit too. Like this book was really weird, but it was such a good book. But like there was definitely some shit that I didn't pick up on when I was younger because I didn't understand it. Like I read a lot of like books probably that I shouldn't have read when I was younger that dealt with like some crazy shit. Like there was some books that dealt with like rape and like all sorts of fucked up shit. And like I want to reread some of those books now that I have a more nuanced and like better perspective being a little bit older.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like with age comes, I mean, like obviously knowledge and shit. So like, if you read a book at 10, read that same book at 25, it's not going to be the same book.
Yeah. I mean, I've noticed that too with some shit, like SpongeBob, for example. Like, we watched an episode of SpongeBob maybe like 6 months ago, and I hadn't watched SpongeBob since I was like a fucking child. And like, there was a lot of shit that I like picked up on that like I definitely didn't pick up on when I was a child. Like, the SpongeBob's actually pretty fucking dark.
Very
and
dark.
there's some serious adult humor in that too.
Yeah, no, it's very heavily implied.
Like, there's one part where like Mr. Krabs looks at Squidward. He's like, Squidward's being his usual fucking cunty self, and Krabs looks at him. He's like, "Must be that time of the month again." Like that totally went over my head as a fucking kid.
Do you remember the medieval episode where like the guard he's like dealing with SpongeBob shit and he can't deal with any more of it, and he like holds the spear to his head. And he's like, "Not today."
Yeah, dude, yeah. Like I totally didn't pick up on that as a kid.
He was about to
like,
kill himself, like low key,
Yeah.
but none of us. Knew
I
that.
watched the SpongeBob movie while tripping acid not that long ago, and like, dude, when he's like sitting in the bar just throwing all this ice cream and shit all over like the guy, and he's like, "Oh, waiter!" Dude, I was like, "Oh my god," that like hit home, dude. I was like,
He's
yeah.
definitely supposed to be drunk in that.
Yeah,
scene.
yeah. I didn't get that when I first watched the movie either. Yeah, there's definitely some shit you don't pick up on.
Especially like hidden messages. And, yeah, like have you ever seen nowadays like a big thing, hidden advertisements in YouTube videos?
Yeah. Have you ever seen like the hidden shit within like company logos?
Yeah, I
Like
saw,
you know, FedEx has like an arrow in the logo.
No.
Yeah, dude. I'll pull up. I unfortunately can't pull it up for you all on the podcast. But,
Have you seen? I know
show him this
Monster
shit.
Energy. Like it was shown to be like a demonic symbol, and same with the Taco Bell logo, like the eye on it. I mean, I don't know how accurate it is. I don't know if it's like 100% true, but it's supposed
So
to
yeah,
be
look at the
these.
FedEx logo. Between the E and the X, there's an arrow.
Yeah,
Yeah, like most people don't notice that.
I never noticed that.
Yeah. Yeah, y'all listen to the podcast. Look that up and see if you've ever noticed that. Like, there's a bunch of shit, and like Amazon too. I'll show you one more. Amazon. The reason that the Amazon has the arrow between the underneath.
A to Z.
Yeah, they have everything from A to Z on their website.
Yeah.
There's like a bunch of hidden shit.
That actually kind of reminds me of, like, the Mandela effect. Like, sometimes you can remember something, like, 100% it's that way. Like, that never existed.
Yeah.
Like, with the Berenstein Bears or the Bernstein Bears, like, it's always been Bernstein Bears, but has always remembered it as Berenstein Bears.
Oh shit.
Or, like, the, what's another one? I know, like, Baby Bell cheese. Like, you know, those, like, round discs?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the cow having a nose ring?
No.
Okay, well, like, it's a very common thing, like, that the cow had a nose ring, right? Cow never had a nose ring.
Oh shit.
Like, there's so many things, like, it's just, like, I don't know, like, I think he explained it kind of, like, as, like, a glitch in the Matrix. Kind of, like, basically, that's not what he said, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like that could be true, like, there's just a bunch of things, like, we remember from our childhood that just aren't accurate, that, like, somehow kind of changed over the
Yeah, have you
course
ever heard
time.
of the, like, it's like a psychology study, too, where, like, people, like, that's why, like, witnesses are, like, notoriously, like, unfucking reliable, because a lot of it, like, you can psych somebody out into thinking something was a particular way, even though it wasn't, like, by the way you question them. Like, if you say, like, oh, at the scene of this car accident, was there broken glass? Like, a lot of people will be like, no. But if you say, at the scene, and a lot of it's with your tone, too, but, like, if you say, oh, this fatal car crash, was there smashed glass everywhere? Even though you're essentially talking about the same thing, a car accident or, like, a fatal car crash. It's, you know, they're talking about the same thing, but the way that they phrase it, people were much more likely to falsely remember there being broken glass at the scene if they said car crash as opposed to car accident.
Really?
Yeah, because your connotations with certain words lead you to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can remember seeing broken glass for a fact, even though there was no broken glass. Like, shit like that. Like, there's a lot of... Your mind can play serious fucking
Yeah,
tricks
that's
on
kind
you,
of
man.
crazy, man. Like, you can remember shit one way.
And that's why,
and
like,
it's
the
just-
way cops interrogate people sometimes is kind of, like, fucked up.
What do you mean?
Like, dude, there's so many people that, like, are just so scared, and just, like, the way cops question them and shit. Like, they
Oh,
just
yeah.
want to get out of the room or, like, tell them what they want to hear. They'll confess to, like, crimes that they didn't commit and shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
I've
a
seen
big
that a
thing.
lot. Like sometimes, like, the cops just don't let up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, oh, you did this. Like,
Yeah.
Sometimes it persuades them to believe they did it.
Yeah, that's another thing, too. Sometimes they actually believe they did it, even though they didn't.
Yeah.
Or, you know, but a lot of times it's just, like, it's almost like a psychological self-defense, like, to get the fuck out of that room, you know?
Yeah. Kind of like a fight or flight.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that in my psych class recently, fight or flight, and she was like, kind of like, not that you have to like share, but like by show of hands, like who here is like fight and who here is like flight. And like she was talking about how like sometimes people like freeze in the moment and when they could, instead of like acting and shit. And dude, I cannot fucking remember what it is. But I remember like there was a time when like something like really bad happened and I froze. But I don't remember like what the fuck happened. But like I specifically remember like freezing during like an intense moment or something. For sure.
Yeah, because sometimes.
But I don't
you
remember
just-
what that moment was. But I do remember like freezing in that moment.
Yeah, like sometimes you just don't know how to respond to a situation, so like you just
Yeah.
don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's hardwired different too.
Yeah.
You know, that's why like it sucks once like people get blamed for like not reacting. You know, but it's like sometimes your mind just fucking freezes.
Yeah, because with any given situation, there's a lot to take in, and some people interpret it differently than others. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
And at different rates.
Yeah. Human mind is a crazy fucking thing, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm ready to wrap it up. Are you?
Yeah. It was
Word.
a good podcast.
It's been a very interesting podcast. Kind of bounce around all over the place, but I don't know. I think we had a pretty good conversation.
Hopefully it was interesting.
I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you can take something away from this. And I apologize about the lack of video. There's some technical difficulties on our part, but
Don't forget to leave a like and a comment and subscribe.
that as well.
Hit that motherfucking subscribe button. And if you don't, cringe.
This has been the Hightide episode 2. Peace out, my guys.